Fun Friend Friday. Thank you guys so much for being here this morning. Got an action-packed show, including, if you guys missed it last night, we got new life on the homestead. Gonna have some live views from the newly established Goat Cam. We'll see you guys in about 60 seconds. Happy Friday. Let's go. Well, what in the world? There we go. I don't know why I was muted. Yes, indeedly doodly. It is Fun Friend Friday here on the No Prisoners podcast. Good morning to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I am 45-1 actual. The guy lucky enough to host this awesome ass show. And I've got my amazing co-host, Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm looking at the stock market right now.
Oh, yes. How's it doing?
Well, I'm looking at a particular company called AECom, that and Jacob Industries. Companies involved in rebuilding areas of Los Angeles, and I'm looking into their ties to Lahaina as well.
Oh,
looks like they're about to do very well. Very well in a short amount of time. Yes.
Okay.
So that's, and aside from that, I'm waking up from an evening with Mary watching Soap Dish last night on Free for All to Learn, which was
How did that go?
Times. It was good. It was good. Yeah, it was a good film and some good popcorn made in a whirly pop, which I filmed and I'll be showing as a recipe in the future.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, I was going to try to join in last night, but we had an eventful evening on the homestead, guys. And let me just show you what that looks like. Hold on. We'll do a grand reveal underneath this logo here. Hold on. Bloop. Last night, we had 4 little baby goats get born. Look at that. Already walking around. Standing tall, looking good. You can't see them all right now because Mama's kind of hanging out in the foreground. But from what I can tell, I think they're all female. I think every single one of them is a female. So that's interesting. All girls. But there you go. There's a couple of them right there. Happy, healthy, kicking butt. And so super excited to welcome some new life onto the homestead. That is the live view. I'll go out there and adjust it here again, away from the wall. The ram has been trying to get in. We have some barriers built up, and so the camera's on top of one of the barriers. And so whenever he goes out there and gives it a little jolt, sometimes it moves the camera. But there you go, guys. There's a couple little view of the little guys. I guess I should say little girls, as they're all female apparently. But yeah, man, super happy to welcome the new life onto the homestead. I was getting ready to come inside and get myself all dolled up, aka combing my hair, for Free for All to Learn show, to go and watch movies. And I heard Blossom, Mama, start bleeding, and I was like, oh, Are you getting ready to pop out a kid? Because that morning she had started getting restless, and I've been doing my research on when to tell when the babies are getting ready to come out. And so I could tell that she'd been restless all day, and I was like, she's within 24 hours. Like, I can tell. She just keeps bleating and seeming like she's just not happy with anything and trying to, get nested. And so she laid flat down on the ground there, away from all the hay, which was extremely annoying. And decided to start popping out the first one. And I did not realize how involved of a process it was going to be for me, the human being, with goat birth. But they completely rely on you because mama is like only halfway interested in getting things going. And so they're born in these sacks, dude. And you have to literally take your finger and scoop it out of their airway and break that sac open for them to be able to start breathing. And so I got all that done for the first two, and I was like, oh, great. We had two. Woohoo, that's fun. And then the third one came. And then the fourth one came. And it just didn't seem like it was ever going to stop, but it finally did. I was not expecting 4, just to be honest with you guys. I was expecting 1 or 2. And 4 of them came out, and they're all female, which is wild, but pretty cool. So there's a live look at the goat cam. We'll check in on them again later, but as you can see, all 4 happy, healthy, romping around, looking good. Okay. Laura, how are you this morning? Good morning.
Very well, thank you. Congratulations
Good.
on the new birth. No, she had 4 of them. No wonder she was in distress.
I'm telling you what, I kind of felt bad for her. I was like, man, you were really loaded up. And she had given herself a self-sustained hoof injury in the last couple months there of her pregnancy because she decided to try to hop up in the chicken coop and got her hoof caught on a splinter or something and ended up cutting her hoof. So she was limping around for a while. We were trying to keep that clean and let it heal up. But she luckily was able to, start walking around normally again before they were actually born. But it was pretty amazing. Yeah. So, yeah, Salty in San Diego and the rest of you guys. So yeah, the trick with the milk is I'm going to have to find another ram. So this is the crazy thing about females. They don't just naturally produce the milk. They gotta get knocked up. And so I'm going to have to find another ram because I only have the one ram and that's their sire. So you don't want to do inbreeding. But you don't want to do inbreeding. But because I have a feeling that these are going to be pretty darn cute. I'm going to not have a problem finding a willing, another goat farmer that will like to sire those. So, but I will have to find one. But yeah, lots of goat's milk. Lots of goat's milk. If I could have 2 or 3 females pumping out milk, that'd be awesome. Even if I have to do it artificially, which I know is weird. But even if I had to do it artificially, if I just had to buy the goat semen and do it myself, I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
That's fun.
I mean, it's part of homesteading. You're either in it or you're not. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, wear my gloves. All right. Particular family of 4 said, you have to have babies to get milk. What about all those guys that want a chest feed? That doesn't work. I know, right?
No.
It's wild. Yeah, it's crazy. But good morning to you, a nuclear family of 4. The gray man in the house as well. Good to see you. Misinformation said, good morning, NPP and friends. Good morning to you. Salty in San Diego. Again, good morning. Mr. Tizo, what's up, friend? Good to see you. Teutonic Salt said, babies. Yes, indeed. Nuclear family of 4 said, I used to deliver the calves on the farm with our vet for the ones that needed help. Always wanted to be a vet. Yeah, I had to literally pull one of them. I think it was the third one was kind of stuck, so I had to get my hands in there behind the shoulders and give it a little yank. It was very involved. It was very, very involved. And so like the the thing that irritated me was I had spent the entire morning doing maintenance on the aquaponics, right? So cleaning the filters, and so you get a little dirty with the fish poop, cleaning the filters off, especially when you got coconut fiber as your filter material. It's just it's a messy, sloggy process. But the way that I do it is I take care of the fruit trees that are in the yard by spraying off all the solids and stuff onto the fruit trees' roots, so they get nice and healthy. And of course, like dead patches in my yard will get a nice bucket or two of fish filth water. So I was doing that all morning. Went to the dump, took a bunch of stuff to the dump, and so I'd already showered and I was like nice and clean. And then 4 goat births happened. So I was instantly not clean again. I was a little irritated, but whatever.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah, never a dull moment on the homestead, that's for sure. Let's see. D-Hext in the house, good to see you. Bert Cocaine said, babies. Yes, indeed. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see who else we've got here. Let's go ahead and take care. Kevin, you gotta stop pinning comments. Just until they fix it. Oh my gosh. There we go. Burke Cocaine, thank you so much for the can. It's just in the way so that I can't filter the donations. They need to just shift it down just a little. Hear me, Pilled? Shift it down just a little bit. But thank you so much for that can. I have to open up Stream Deck here. It's being a little wonky. Come on. Oh boy, my computer's locking up. Hold on, guys. There we go. Now it's working. Come on in here. Man, thank you so much for that can. Appreciate you. All right. Now like the play button that brings me back down to the bottom is missing. All right.
What a pity.
Look, you see it over there.
Nobody asked you, Kevin.
Well, I'm going to tell you about it.
Anyway, good to see you guys. Lynn RC7, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because we got plenty of stuff to talk about today. We'll start off right over here with some opening videos. How about some wholesome stuff to start off? It's all about perspective. Y'all know those wholesome videos where somebody sees someone that's lonely, and so they kind of like document them, and then they walk up to them randomly one day and they're like, I want to be your best friend. Well, here's an interesting take on that right here. Here you go.
So every day I just go out for a walk, and every day when I pass by this house, the neighbor is just always up in the window. Look at him. Look. I swear he's looking at me and I don't like it. Every day. No. What? No.
Present for you. Just for you. Present.
Yeah, thank you. Fucking present. What the fuck is this?
likes it. He likes it. Neighbor. Neighbor.
Points at your fun.
I've never had a neighbor get enough nerve to go out of the house unless they were peering into my windows. But yeah, not while I'm outside. I'll never.
If you got neighbors peering into your windows, you got problems.
Yeah, well, she'll put it this way. She stopped after I did my little thing for her. I actually happened to have a shotgun in the house.
Oh, nice. There you go.
And I saw her creeping around my window, so I just kind of held it there and went with the blinds, and she was like,
hard to peer.
Again.
Hard to peer with your head missing.
Well, she was trying to see my boyfriend naked.
Oh,
She was walking around the windows.
Oh my God!
She's walking around the windows, during the mornings and the evenings and stuff like that. But she was weird. Even our super would tell us that she would do things like she would ask for service, and she would leave kissed toilet paper in the toilets to make sure that they didn't use her bathroom, and if they did, she would call and complain and stuff. She was terrible.
What is that? Do I even want to know what kissed toilet paper is?
When she
What does
blots
that
her
mean?
lipsticks. When she blots her lipstick, she puts on lipstick and then
And just
blots it.
leaves them lying around?
She put them in the toilet. That was her way of telling whether or not the service people used her bathroom while she was gone.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay.
You've never I guess you've never called it kissed toilet paper. I'm sure you've blotted your lipstick before.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nuclear family of four. She was weird. She was really weird.
It's very weird.
She was always she was always snooping around our windows, looking around our windows, and whenever we would be outside, we would notice that she'd be peering, she'd always watching what we're doing. It's like my own mother doesn't spend that much time and attention on me. What the hell is your problem, lady?
Right, exactly. All right, well, here's a fray of idiots for your viewing pleasure, guys. Happy Friday.
Oh.
Are you okay?
I mean, oh God!
Never works out well. Oh.
What the hell?
Girlfriend, you need to buy some new underwear.
Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Myers.
Okay, now let's see this part.
Don't look around like you didn't know what happened. Oh, he went down the other one.
Made the same noise too.
Oh man, that's hilarious. All right. Well, it's not just humans having a bad day. We got a compilation of cats having a bad day. Here we go.
Oh, poor kitty.
Now you're fucking Lena!
Oh, she really stuck.
And her head is kind
That's incredible.
Boy, they don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like them cones, man. Oh, man. Gotta have a cat video on Fridays, guys. Always. All right, Kevin, time to trigger you.
Oh boy. Oh no. Ooh.
It's the social media craze that has dentists gnashing their teeth.
I'm gonna file my teeth down with a nail file because they're not perfect.
You heard right. People using a nail file on their teeth. It's the social media craze that has dentists gnashing their teeth.
What do you think of that?
At least they're not eating soap.
Yeah, just go ahead. Just take the enamel off your teeth. You know, go down to the dentist, open yourself up to all sorts of oral manifestations and disease, and then take it out on your health insurance. Go ahead, you idiot.
Better them than me.
Yeah. I know, right?
I bet these are the same people who use magic erasers to whiten their teeth.
Right?
What?
Or whiteout?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. No, I have used whiteout before. Yes, I have. And it really helps on the stage. It helps on the stage. But I will say, yeah, there are people who use those Melamine Mr. Clean magic erasers. And if you want to remove it'll whiten your teeth. Yes. It'll also destroy your enamel in the process.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know who might need some tooth files? I think Gary. I think this guy's name's Gary. Anyway, check this out.
Hey, y'all, so I was sitting here in Walmart, and I saw these two guys, Gary and Gary.
Yes.
I couldn't believe they look just alike like this. One the father, one the son. Y'all tell me which one is which.
Hey, son.
Which one's Gary? Which one's Gary?
Okay.
Both of them Gary. Shit, can I be Gary too?
Yeah.
Dad, how come we don't look alike like them?
Daryl.
That's awesome.
Well, I'll be 65 this year.
Bullshit.
I'm 26.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I'll be 65 this year. And I refuse to act it.
Gary said he's 65.
I'm gonna be 65 in December.
And he's 26. I gotta ask my dad why the hell I don't. Hey, y'all, so I was sitting here in Walmart. And
Okay.
Where
They look
was
a lot
he?
like.
Arkansas?
I was saying the Appalachians because there's a Whitaker family out in the Appalachians. And they're incredibly inbred, and I'm wondering if they are related to the Whitakers, because that family tree is a leaf.
Shame
Okay,
on
so
you.
yeah.
Right, doesn't have many branches.
Children of God.
Doesn't have very many branches. But at least 65-year-old Gary's had some time to put some work into the grill.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why did you show us this? What is this?
Scientists reveal who has the fastest punch on Earth. I bet you it's someone related to Gary. Forget about Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali. The fastest punch in the world belongs to the mantis shrimp.
Yes.
This shrimp can smash a shell with the force of a .22 caliber bullet.
Yeah.
And remains intact. Despite the shockwaves created by its own punches, according to the research paper published in Science, scientists have found that the mantis's punch limb, which is called the dactyl club, has a structure that enables it to absorb the shockwaves that are created when it punches and cracks the shell of its prey. The mantis shrimp is known for its incredibly powerful strike, which can break mollusk shells and even crack aquarium glass, said Horatio Espinoza, a professor of mechanical engineering and biomedical engineering at Northwestern University and one of the paper's authors. However, to repeatedly execute these high-impact strikes, the mantis shrimp's dactyl club must have a robust protection mechanism to prevent self-damage. He continued, "We found it uses phonic phononic mechanisms. Phononic mechanisms, structures that selectively filter stress waves that enables the shrimp to preserve its striking ability over multiple impacts and prevent soft tissue damage. The researchers say that these findings could help the design of new artificial materials with useful properties such as mechanical filters for mobile phones and other electronics. The mantis has
what you want when you're using your phone, getting struck in the ear with the force of a mantis shrimp.
A 22 caliber. Yeah, that's how I want the beat to drop. The mantis has a hammer-like club positioned on each side of its body. The clubs are spring-like structures that store energy in elastic form and are held in place by latch-like tendons. When the latch is released, the stored energy is too, and this fires the club towards its prey with explosive force. Espinoza said, when the mantis shrimp strikes, the impact generates pressure waves onto its target. It also creates bubbles which rapidly collapse to produce shock waves in the megahertz range. The collapse of these bubbles releases intense bursts of energy, which travel through the shrimp's club. Yes.
Yeah.
The secondary shockwave effect, along with the initial impact force, makes the mantis shrimp strike even more devastating. The researchers were surprised that this huge force did not damage the shrimp's delicate nerves and tissues, which are enclosed in armor. The analysis of the armor found that it has structure patterns that protected the club against fractures, as well as other intricate features that act as phononic shields, filtering out high-frequency stress waves. Okay, we already talked about that. Thanks, ChatGPT. The periodic region plays a crucial role in selectively filtering out high-frequency shear waves, which are particularly damaging to biological tissues. He added, this effectively shields the shrimp from damaging stress caused by the direct impact and bubble collapse. So it's like a thunder punch underwater.
That it is. And it also cooks
seen
whatever it strikes. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say whatever it hits gets cooked because of the pressure. It's like it will cook
literally
whatever it's hitting. Yeah.
Did you find a video? I've seen videos of it. It's incredible. And it's
yeah, I think this will probably show one or two. Let's see. See this little bastard get it in, huh?
Looks like an alien.
Yeah, don't they see in a whole bunch of ranges of colors that we can't see as well? Like, don't shrimp have like way more colors that they can see? Pretty sure they do.
I thought it was more like infrared or something. Like Predator.
I don't know. This motherfucker gonna punch?
Do anything.
Hey, look, here's a mantis shrimp. Hey, thanks a lot. You think you can maybe show us the thing that you wrote about, you assholes?
In fact, I think they even overdubbed it with David Attenborough.
Right?
I want to
Teutonic.
see it.
Go ahead.
I want to see it fight a teppanyaki chef. I want to see that. Mantis shrimp versus Asian chef.
Yeah, Burr Cocaine says they see in 9 spectrums. That's what I thought. Teutonic Salt says, my wife says I can smash quicker. Giggity. Anyway.
Yes.
Let's see. What else we got here? Volcano scorched Roman scroll. Yes.
May I just back up? That was a very inappropriate soundbite because that was the tune which goes along with the lyric.
Shit.
I'm never
Here
gonna dance. Yes, here we go again. I'm never gonna dance again. And in the context of smashing your wife, are you saying that you broke your wife's pelvis? Yes. Okay, now we know. All right. Sorry.
All right, volcano scorched Roman scroll. Kevin's gonna regret us getting a new stream deck. I'm just saying.
I'm loving it. I'll act like I hate it, but I love it.
All right, yeah, just drop it in the private chat here. We'll take a look at it. Volcano scorched Roman scroll is read for the first time in 2,000 years. A papyrus scroll carbonized in the eruption of Mount Vesuvius 2 millennia ago is slowly being read once again thanks to X-ray imaging and machine learning. Before we get into this, though, I want to see this punch. Thank you, Laura. He said, I'm never going to smash again the way I smashed with you. All right, here we go.
If you come across this creature, don't touch it because it might make a crab lose its claw. But before I tell you more about this animal, if you think this shrimp is cute, please like and subscribe.
Shut up.
The mantis shrimp with 2 front claws hardened like hammers. Its strike can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, strong enough to break through the shells of various snails. And it can strike repeatedly, so if you touch it, it might leave you with some bruises.
Dang. All right. Well, thank you for that again. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, you're trying to make me pay. Well, we'll see about that. That's how they trick me. They show me enough of it, and I'm like, okay, it's not pay to read, and then oh, gotcha. All right, here we go. An ancient Roman scroll has been read for the first time since it was charred in the volcanic eruption of Mount Vesuvius 2 millennia ago, thanks to artificial intelligence and high-powered X-ray facility. The papyrus scroll was one of 1,800 rescued from a single room in an ornate villa in the Roman town of Herculaneum during the 1750s, which is now the Italian town of Ercolano. All of them were carbonized by the heat of the volcanic debris that buried them. Initially, locals unknowingly burned the scrolls as firewood, but once it was discovered that they contained text, they were saved. Around 200 have since been painstakingly opened and read by mechanical devices based on clocks, which slowly tick and prise the scrolls open a millimeter at a time. 3 of the scrolls are kept at the University of Oxford's Bodleian Library, having been gifted by the future King George IV in 1804. The then Prince of Wales had traded a troop of kangaroos to King Ferdinand IV of Naples in exchange for the scrolls. The Neapolitan king was constructing an elaborate garden and a collection of animals for his lover. One of the 3 scrolls, known as FERC 172, FERC, has now been imaged and analyzed using machine learning algorithms. It was scanned at Diamond Light Source in Oxfordshire, home to an extremely high-powered X-ray machine known as a synchrotron. There you go, a synchrotron. Sounds like a watch company that I need to start. And the resulting data was made available to participants in the Vesuvius Challenge, a competition with a $700,000 grand prize for interpreting text from scrolls. This method is much better than trying to open the scrolls mechanically, said Peter Toth, a curator at the library. The only problem or risk is that the imaging is so special that it can't be done here, which means that the scroll had to leave the premises. And we were very, very nervous about that. Researchers have also revealed several columns of text with about 26 lines in each column. Academics are now hoping to read the whole scroll, but can already make out the ancient Greek word, whatever that is, which means disgust. Toth suspects that it will relate in some way to the philosopher Epicurus. His names are so jacked up, as many of the other scrolls found at the same site have. FERC 172 is probably going to be titled FERC this by the end of it, right? If it's got disgust in it. Was the only of the 3 scrolls at the library deemed stable enough to travel. And then only in a specially 3D printed case inside another padded box. The hope is that the technology can improve so much in the future that the items do not have to travel anywhere, but the technology can come to us, said Toth. So there you go. Old Salty Dog coming in with a shipperino. Good to see you, sir. Said, much love, fam, working and lurking with an 07 salute. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Okay, Cracker Barrel wages war with woke Waffle House, and it's getting nasty. Times are tough right now in the egg game, whatever that is, because of this pesky bird flu. You heard of it. It's been going around for a while now, and it's really putting a dent in our livestock. I assume it'll be a raging pandemic at some point relatively soon that the left drums up to be the start of the apocalypse, but, you know, we'll see. For now, though, it's mainly impacting chickens, which affects our eggs, which in turn affects our great food establishments across this great country. Waffle House earlier this week announced a 50-cent surcharge on eggs because they're so damn expensive right now. Remember, we covered that on Monday or Wednesday. Nasty move, but I get it. You got to do what you got to do. Unless you're Cracker Barrel, a.k.a. the GOAT of the breakfast game in America, Cracker Barrel would never pull such a move. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Cracker Barrel has drawn a line in the sand. My God, what a post, what a shot, what a restaurant. Egg surcharges, never heard of it. Order eggs and get double the pegs. Now through Wednesday, the 12th. Hey, Waffle House, piss off. Cracker Barrel proves once again why I will always be on top of the mountain in this business. So anyway, we had some fighting going on between Cracker Barrel and Waffle House, which is like, can you even put the two in the same category? I don't really think so. I think Cracker Barrel is kind of like leaps and bounds above Waffle House, right? Like, especially, like, you're not gonna go. You can't go to a Cracker Barrel at 3 o'clock in the morning. But if you go to a Waffle House 3 o'clock in the morning, you already know what's going down.
You're probably gonna get shot. I mean, yeah.
At least have a chair thrown at you.
Or something dramatic.
All right.
Yeah, I'd rather go to a Cracker Barrel anyway, but I'd rather, when it comes to it, I'd rather just make it myself. So yeah, there's that.
It's not the only place where there's a showdown happening over eggs, guys. Check out this fight over eggs at Costco.
Sorry for him disrespecting you, Daddy. Sorry about that. Don't get into no problems right now.
Look at all them eggs. There's no way you're ever going to eat that. Unless you're buying them for a restaurant, there's no way you're ever going to eat those eggs. Unless you're going to freeze dry them, but that's going to take forever.
Yeah.
I imagine the eggs would probably go bad. I mean, I don't know. How many eggs could you do in a freeze dryer? I guess it depends on how big of a freeze dryer you got.
Probably going to sit out in the street and sell them.
Yeah, you're probably right about that too. Resell them?
Folks, they're probably going to sit out in the street and resell them to their
right.
To their.
But here's the point though. Like, does it really matter? Does it really matter? Because where were we conditioned to behave this way whenever there's a perceived shortage? You guys remember where were we conditioned to act like this? Remember I told you that it was going to be this innocuous thing that there should have never been a shortage of because there was a disease going around, and that the entire thing with toilet paper was all a test run where they inject something. They inject something into the marketplace as a perceived shortage, and then they just watch how the masses react to it. Remember these days, guys? Here's from March 9th, 2020.
They did something like this before that, though.
Don't treat her like that. You okay?
Yeah, they do it annually. It's called Black Friday events. It's like, it's more than just lack of
Yeah, but that's not because there's a perceived shortage. It's not because there's a perceived shortage. It's because they want to have the deal.
Right, but that is the shortage right there. There's only a limited supply of the deal.
Okay, I guess you're right. You're right.
So that's what they do on an annual, is to get these people.
That's not kind of an emergency type of thing. They made this.
They sure act like it's an emergency.
But before that, do you remember when they turned off the EBT cards?
I don't have one. So no,
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember that.
About 2 years before that, I think it happened in Louisiana. They turned off the EBT cards or something like that happened, and they literally rampaged and emptied the stores out afterwards.
Oh.
I mean, it was a.
I mean, it's like typical. That's like typical behavior.
Well,
but
they've been doing this way before 2020. So.
Well, I'm just saying though, you look at the correlation between the two: disease causing a shortage in toilet paper, not real. But they gave the perception that it was going to happen. So you had a bunch of people buying up a shit ton of toilet paper to try to beat a shortage that didn't actually have to exist and wouldn't have existed if people weren't just mass buying toilet paper because they had a misconception and were misled to think that there was going to be a shortage of toilet paper. So now the same thing is happening with eggs because of the bird flu, but this time they're actually creating the shortage because they know how people are going to react. They're taking advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
actually,
like they
caused by one woman supposedly that they just arrested in the Department of NIH or something like that.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just read about
we'll see. I mean, it doesn't unmurder the 190, 200 million birds that they've already killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't unmurder them.
Nope.
Even in the best case scenario, it's going to take you 4 to 6 months to get those numbers back because you got to have all these hatcheries just be completely unrestricted and bringing back the poultry population and get them to an age where they can lay again. Wild, man. And so on top of that, you guys know how they always had all these strong job numbers under the Biden administration. Then they would come back a little bit later and they'd be like, oops, we actually had to do a little bit of a revision. And turns out it wasn't quite as good as we thought. Well, you got a long-term one here. But didn't even do as well as was expected. And the expectations were low, guys. January jobs growth below estimates amid massive revisions which trim unemployment, reduce historic payrolls. There were no strong convictions ahead of today's jobs report, perhaps because everyone by now knows the numbers are all bogus and made up on the spot. And perhaps this time it was a good thing because while on one hand, the payrolls print came in weaker than expected, driven by a sharp drop in private payrolls, the unemployment rate actually dropped below estimates, painting yet another mixed picture of what to expect. Here's what the BLS reported, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. In Trump's first official jobs report since he returned to the White House, total payrolls printed at 143,000. Down sharply from a upward revised 307,256K originally, and missing estimates of 175,000. Looking further back, the change in total non-farm payroll employment for November was revised up by 49,000 from 212 to 261. And when adding the 51,000 revision to December employment in November and December combined is 100,000 higher than previously reported. But while the sequential change in the establishment survey was notable, what was far more remarkable was the household survey, where we saw massive population-related revisions, which pushed the civilian labor force higher by 2.2 million to 170.744 million, while the number of employed workers also increased by 2.2 million. As a result, the household survey has finally caught up to the establishment survey. And since the number of unemployed people actually declined from 6.8 million to 6.8 million from 6.88, okay, I guess it was 6.886 to 6.849, while the number of employed workers rose 2.2 million to 163.9, the unemployment rate declined from 4% from 4.1%, the lowest since May of 2024. So, I actually went to Grok because this is a lot of jangle here. Hold on. I had it pull apart this and kind of put it in simpler terms. So in January, the U.S. added fewer jobs than expected. The number was bolstered slightly by revisions, adding 100,000 jobs to the previous 2 months' counts. The unemployment rate dropped from 4.1 to 4%, which sounds good, but it comes with a twist due to how these numbers are calculated. The average hourly earnings increased, now at 4.1% year over year. This suggests that wages for those who are employed are going up, but it doesn't necessarily mean everyone is getting a raise. The article points out massive revisions to previous job numbers, suggesting that the initial reports might have been overly optimistic, aka lying. These revisions mean that last year's job growth was not as strong as previously reported, with about 600,000 fewer jobs each month. That's a pretty big lie. It's a pretty big lie. There's a lot of skepticism about these numbers. The article suggests that the data might be manipulated, especially since the revisions consistently lower previous estimates. This paints a picture where the economy might not be as robust as the initial figures suggest. The labor force participation rate slightly increased to 62.6%, indicating more people are either working or looking for work. I wonder who those people are, though. I wonder how many of them are American-born workers. That would be an interesting thing. With Donald Trump as the 47th president, there's an underlying tone that these numbers could be used or interpreted in political context, especially given the timing and nature of the revisions. To put it the most simple way, imagine you're told your favorite sports team scored 5 goals, but you later learn they actually scored 3. That's what's happening with the job numbers. Initially, it looked like the jobs market was doing better, but the revisions show it's not as strong. Wages are going up with jobs, but the unemployment rate might be lower because of how these numbers are adjusted, not necessarily because everyone who wants a job can find one. There's a bit of skepticism about whether these numbers are being cooked to look better than they are, especially with the downward revisions due to last year's data. The scenario could affect how people feel about the economy, especially if they're looking for work or waiting for a raise. Just remember, numbers can tell different stories depending on how you look at them. So there you go. Pretty simple breakdown. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Kevin, what do you think?
It's in flux right now. That's what I think. And it needs to shake out. Give it about maybe 7 months before it stabilizes again. That is if this current clip of reorganization continues at the rate it's going. There's going to be a bit of an influx here. There's going to be some flux.
I don't trust this stuff. They've been cooking the numbers for a long time. They'll either try and cook them to make Trump look bad or try to cook them to make Biden look good. I didn't believe any of that stuff.
Right.
And they don't count people who have fallen off the rolls, have just given up.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's see here. I meant to play this with the other egg videos. Yeah, we'll get to that here in a minute because we're getting ready to get into a whole bunch of the bitching and complaining. As you guys can see, we got the woke DEI section coming up next. Yeah, that's going to be good. You can also see I got an epic read. We got about 10 minutes before we head to pilled.net exclusively, guys. So if you want to join in, you want to head to pilled.net and search for No Prisoners Podcast, all one word, and come and join us over there. We've also got Goat Cam. Got Goat Cam, guys.
I found her. Phyllis Fong. Supposedly, she was the one that ordered all of these killings, especially there was one in Nebraska, I think it was. And this farmer had already tested and was negative and everything, and she still ordered 600,000 of his chickens to be killed. So that's the lady that refused to leave when she got fired.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah, she was in charge of all of that, and she looks like she is a refugee from China or something. I don't mean refugees. Immigrant. So, yeah, Phyllis.
Goats. Yes, I've got story about the big balls, guys. I've got the story about the big balls. You know, we're going to talk about that.
That actually gives me hope for our big ball energy. I mean, because that's the way we were back in the 80s.
Thick like an oak tree, wide like the Red Sea, fat like Chris Christie, hairy like a goatee. I got that big ball energy.
Just give me a cocktail.
I didn't know cocks had tails.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So you know who else needed one, Kevin? Go ahead, and then we're gonna get into this.
Well, I've got something to ask. You've got your DEI segment coming up now. I just got word that Maxine Waters is out there harassing people at the federal building.
Yes, I've got
I dropped you. Okay, good. You've got it. All right, then you know where to put it. Gorilla Cookies.
Yeah, it's gonna go. It's gonna go right down in here somewhere. Let me see. Here, let's do this. We'll put it right. We'll put it right there, and we'll check it out.
Yes.
So, you know who else was having a meltdown?
Who? Oh God, not
Kanye West.
Oh, stop it. You know what? He's old. Kanye, you're having what people in the industry call
midlife crisis.
A freaking beyond midlife. You are having a mental fracture, dude.
Kanye, bitch. Any man that would let this woman walk around like that.
Oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for these people. I'll listen to the story, of course, but I do not have time for these people.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go on a deep dive here, but I do want to talk about it because people are freaking out. He was like 10 hours deep, just going apey ding dong on X. I woke up this morning and it was some of the first things I saw, and I was like, "Dang, dude, what are you talking about?" But pretty funny. So let's see. He says a few of these. I'm buying 2 Maybachs tomorrow. I'm gonna make the Jewish persons who's selling it read me all these tweets, and I bet you see me whipping Maybachs. How a nigga pay for everything and let his bitch run him. All you broke using motherfuckers, shut the fuck up already.
Is he talking about Smith? Because that
know.
sounds like he's making a dig at the Smith family right there, because we all know, Will Smith is a cuck, but yeah. All right. Ooh, look at that. That's some tea. I'm sorry, I spilled that. Yes. Sorry you done spilled, but whatever. Why am I even aware of this?
Look at his kids.
Yeah. I have dominion over my wife. This ain't no woke ass feminist shit. She's with a billionaire. Why would she listen to any of you dumbass broke bitches people say there's red carpet the red carpet look was her decision? Yes, I don't make her do nothing she doesn't want to do, but she definitely whatever.
Okay, I don't know how many wives Kanye has had, but I do remember the South Park episode where he was married to a Kardashian and they were calling her a hobbit. And that was a dozen wives ago. So
I only hear one thing when it comes to this stuff. Look over here! I need attention! Look at me! That's all.
Well, at some point, I look at him also and I'm
Hold
like,
on, guys,
is this a window? Yeah. Is this a window into the psychology of what it is to be in the current industry? Is that the entertainment industry? Is it really just a whacked out nut job fiesta of...
You've been in show business, Kevin. I know you know. Most of these people think that their shit don't stink and nobody else has anything on them. And, I don't know. Maybe it's different with musicians. But basically, a lot of times, like with a really good guitar player or really, really like an impresario or something like that, you try to talk to them. They have no social skills. Most of the time, they're rude and they think their shit don't stink. And they walk around like, it's like playing chess with a pigeon. He's gonna just knock everything over and shit on the board and think that he won, act like he won. I've known so many musicians and so many people that are really good that don't have any other personality attributes. They're just plain assholes and narcissists and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what you get from these people that think they're the best all the time. You've heard Kanye. Hell, he had the nerve to get up in front of a winner during one of the Grammys and something and say, "Oh, this person, I'm gonna let you finish, but this person over here should have gotten it," and all that. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are? But yeah, pretty much.
We have we follow a code of you leave the limelight before your star fades, so you don't look pathetic, because you don't want to go out on a bad note.
You mean like Robert De Niro?
Any of these people who are trying to remain relevant when their star is long since faded, and now they just look sad.
Yeah, well,
it's like, why couldn't...
Go ahead.
Why couldn't they leave a nice memory? Why couldn't Whoopi Goldberg just have been a nice memory? Bette Midler had been a nice memory. All these people, they had a positive message at one point in their life, and then it's like something twisted happened, and that positive message just turned into a weaponization of a perversion of what they used to stand for. And Kanye, I don't know, Kanye. I mean, I know you think you're an artist, and in your rights, yeah, you are an artist. I get that. A little bizarre at this point. I'm not really feeling mentally enriched for your offerings at this point. They seem a bit niche and intended for a specific audience. You're having a public meltdown. People are noticing. I'm not sure why people would want to notice that.
The rule
However,
of
people
show
are.
business. Do you know what the rule of show business is? No publicity
I've forgotten.
is bad publicity.
Oh, yeah, that's the axiom of it.
And
there is bad publicity,
and how much
though.
how much attention is he getting? Because it's all to get eyeballs on you. It really is. It's really simple. It may seem complicated, but by all the machinations that these people do, but it's a real simple concept. And like I say,
all right. Sorry about that, guys.
When you say
doing wilder and wilder and wilder stuff. Of course, that has a lot to do with the fact that anybody can be famous now, so they're competing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the internet too.
And Harley Quinn is mentioning
kings and queens. Now all of a sudden, oh shit, somebody else is getting more attention to me. So
there was one specific one I was looking for. There was one post where somebody said it needed to be hung in the Smithsonian, and I was like, it would go really good on a coffee cup.
Hanging Kanye in the Smithsonian?
Yeah. Hold on. It was one of his posts.
Okay.
But I can't find it now.
Point on selling the soul to the devil. I think it was a discount demon. I think it was one of those Walmart grab friggin' bin demons. I don't think it was the actual devil.
You know what
what the heck are we watching?
One of the things I remember also too, you remember when Kanye professed his born again, his Christianity and everything? Even my mom was like fooled by this, because the first person he went to was who? Joel Osteen. The epitome. And she thought that was, oh, look, he's a Christian now and all this. I told Mom, I said, take another look. Who was the first person he went to? What's the first church he went to? Well, Joel Osteen, he's a Christian. No, Ma. He is a
he must have deleted it. Dang it.
He is a performer, and he is trying to get everyone's attention. All eyes on him. I said, don't be fooled, Ma. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, he was back to doing the same old bullshit. So, beware of false prophets, or whatever they call that.
Let's see. All right, let me see here. Give me 1 second, guys. Because we're getting ready to head over to pill.net exclusively. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about what's going to be going on tomorrow. We got the Foxhole Squares, hosted by Coffee Talk with Sandra. Lord Goddess, gonna be one of the squares this weekend. Along with you. No, not this one?
Not this weekend. March 8th. Oh. She kind of got a little mixed up. She fixed it, though. I was actually a guest on her show on Wednesday.
Yeah, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was a nice conversation. We talked about Kevin a little bit, but I basically told him.
How dare you?
The fact that Well, he was one of the first guests on my show, and he gave us a no holds barred, no questions, taboo interview about him and his journey. So I didn't think it was inappropriate to talk about it because it's not like he didn't already tell me this stuff on my show.
That's right. That did happen. That was a long time ago. Wow.
2 or 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
So, and it wasn't anything bad. As a matter of fact, what I talked about was the fact that you like that because of your journey, you were your mission was to help other, especially children, not be talked into this stuff.
And yes, to clarify that though, it's not that I'm talking to kids. I'm talking to people's parents. It's like I do not want to talk to any kids.
I never. No. It was more of a public service. You wanted to make sure that kids weren't getting talked into this stuff and stuff. You were
absolutely.
Yes.
But it was your goal to help people not put their kids in this situation, because if a man your age could be talked into it, what chance do children have? You know, they're very impressionable and everything like that. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
So
all right.
I loved that interview. I still talk about it. It got me started first of all, but the fact that someone was willing to share very deep and personal things on my show, I thought that was fucking awesome, man. And I still talk about it. It's still one of the highlights of my shows and stuff to me.
Yeah, it was definitely, it was a whirlwind, let me tell you.
All right. Well, speaking of whirlwind, we're going to have Foxhole Squares this weekend, guys. Make sure you tune in. It's at 10 p.m. Eastern time over on Coffee Talk with Sandra's channel. If you guys are over on those other platforms, please head over to pilled.net. Search for No Prisoners Podcast, all one word. We'd love to have you over here for the remainder of the show. If not, we'll see you guys again potentially on Monday. I may be taking a few days off. I'll talk to you about that here in just a moment, Kevin. After today's show. But anyway, we'll see. I got to work some things out in the background, and then we'll get into it. But anyway, come over here and hang out with us over on pilled.net. We'd love to have you, and we'll be back right after this.
Coffee Talk with Sandra presents Foxhole Squares, sponsored by Pilled.net. This week, the one and only Enoch, Matt 1776, Neo, James R, Real Person Politics, Burt Cocaine, Laura D Goddess, 451,
which is incorrect. It's incorrect.
Punch, starring Graham Belushi, your host, Zoso Dude. Be there or be square.
All right, so there you go. Won't have Laura D Goddess this time, but come hang out.
He fixed that. So
I didn't